Hello, everyone. This is a Web3 security podcast with Hack and Proof, and today with you, as usual, your host Alex, and our special guest for today is SorryNotSorry, a proud member of Duplit or 0x Dupe 1337, scout and validator at Code4Arena, and experienced security researcher and private auditor. How are you today, Anush?
Hey, Alex. Thank you for hosting me. Great. How about you?
Good, good. To be honest, we experiencing one of the, as usual, DDoS attack on our infrastructure. Some security researchers don't like to stress test us and our technical team, so so had a pretty noisy morning, to be honest. But seems like everything good for now. So happy to have you here today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining, accepting the invitation, and let's start. Um, as usual, we starting from some background check, like what did you done before, how you came up to that wild west of Web3 security arena, and some insights which we know from your previous podcast is that you was a captain of the ship
Yeah.
and really excited to hear more about it, so please just start.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I mean, that will be a wrap of 20 years, so it will be difficult. But yeah, I was a ship captain on very large crude carriers. I worked, like I said, like 17 years relentlessly. And finally, I found myself in this rabbit hole just because of my curiosity and some of my regrets, which you know, I didn't do the correct uh, decisions when I was young. So now I'm trying to make it happen. So I think that's over. Yeah.
But I mean, like, do you regret about your decision of choosing the way of uh, captain, or I don't know? Sorry, I'm not from that area at all. But how it looks like I finish in a university and you become in a captain
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
beginning, or you
Co-
have grades like junior captain,
No,
senior captain.
it happens like that. You have the university, and once you graduate, you find yourself on board your ship, wherever you might have completed your cadetship. It was a chemical tanker for me, but I started from the oil tankers. And 2 years as a third officer, another 2 years as a second officer. Sorry, 2 years as a third officer, second officer, and I've just promoted to the chief officer like 11 years, and just rest of it I completed as captain. So it's by the exams actually. You're getting promoted. You go as it goes. I mean, and it's a wild nature over there. I can say Web3 is much more better for me. Yeah, of course, in terms of doing different things, they are both separating a lot. But I can say I'm much more happy in this place.
Well, it's, I mean, like, it's pretty cool background actually. I never met the captain of the ship before, but like, uh, what pros and cons you can mention from being a captain? Like, uh, did you like it, or why did you decided to do such a huge pivot into fully different area of I don't know,
Yeah,
of your life?
yeah, I can say uh, deciding to be a seafarer was a wrong decision for me because when I was a young guy, I was a young punk, I can say. So I say, okay, I will not do like everybody does. I will not, see the office. I don't want to see the office. I will just go sail around the world, see the people, see, different places. And none of this happened, I can assure you, because being oil tanker means you don't see anything because it's a large vessel. So you cannot go alongside. There is only sea, nothing else. And I ended up sleeping in the office, sleeping at the office because ship is your home. So it was a worst decision. Okay, so I continued like 17 years because I just wanted to succeed what I aimed to, just be a PLCC captain. That's one of the difficult, hardest things that you can ever imagine on the planet. Like I say, it takes like 15, 17 years. And once I have it, I just dropped it. And how I started to this business, that's another funny thing. We were just about to choose our universities, I can say. So at that time, I had the option to be to study CS. I didn't know that just because of this, rebellious behavior. Like I'm not going to do that one, like everybody does. Later on, I regret a lot because once I found myself on board making some Excel formulas, doing things greater with that formulas with these Excel sheets, I just woke up some feeling in me. And one day I called, okay, what is Python? Everybody's talking about Python. So when I logged into YouTube, I saw one guy was talking Python like there is, just a casual talk, and I was understanding everything because it's a very human language. I said, this is not easy. Oh, sorry, this is not difficult. This is doable. And I just, installed everything. I did some couple of, games there and there, scripts. But at the end, I questioned myself, what am I going to do with this? At that time, half of the world traveled anyway during this pandemic, but that was a big chance for me. So at that time, I just increased my pace. I learned Python. I learned Flutter to make some mobile apps. I met Uniswap. I met one of the first mailbots, some good Telegram channels which I made money over. And finally, after 2021, I quit sailing and I started as a customer support agent in a centralized exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just going there and there, and I learned Solidity that time. And finally, I made C4 that changed my life forever, I could say.
So yeah, so much information mentioned it before. Okay, let's do a small step back. So uh, when you started learning programming languages from the Python, yeah, is it correct?
Yeah, it's
And yeah, it's pretty good choice for the beginners. I heard a lot of feedback that it's one of the best language actually to start coding something. And like how much time it take for you to start building something, and how it was possible to learn and study Python uh, while you have a full-time job of the captain.
yeah, great question actually. Yeah, uh, I was on board and we were working like 12, 14 hours a day. So the remaining time mostly goes to resting, and I just sacrificed my rest hours. Just I downloaded many YouTube videos so that I did not have an internet connection. I was
Yes.
watching those, doing the programs locally. Once I understand I can do it, I was just going to the other section. This how I made like 4 or 5 months on board, going through the Python. Meanwhile, I did a very good thing actually. I just subscribed to all these mediums and all these, channels which I can gather information from. And I was receiving continuous emails, and I was just clicking everything regarding the technology so to improve myself. I didn't know, AI or machine learning, but anything. But I was reading all of those to have some familiarity. So after one point, I had the gut that I can learn more. And once I returned back, it took me to build something like 1 month because that time I was trying to learn Dart language to use the Flutter. Uh,
For
once I,
mobile apps.
yeah, for mobile apps, and I did some experimental things, which I enjoyed a lot with Google Vision package, trying to guess the movie names when you watch the Netflix. I mean, there were many false positives, but it was great experience for me because I can get the IMDb score of the movie from the Netflix in my mobile. Something was not done yet at that time. So, and it continued over. And one day, my friend Vishnu, he was my third officer when I was on board. He sent me Uniswap link to check for that one. It is the next big thing, biggest thing. And after
Okay.
that, I started Uniswap, swapping on Uniswapping around there. Yeah.
Is that message was the first touch with crypto for you?
Sorry?
I mean, like your friend sent you the link for Uniswap, and uh, was it your first touch of crypto? Like this was the first time when you tried something with crypto or heard
Actually,
something?
yeah, uh, it was my first time with the DeFi
Uh-huh.
because before that one, I was playing on the centralized exchanges. I was a continuous trader. I made lots of money, lost lots of money, but at the end, I was positive net. And that was,
2017 was wild, isn't it?
yeah, 2017 was wild. I had fake Twitter names, Yeah, yeah, it was it was wild. And I was making money on board, I can tell you, because I never slept, so I was able to continue. I was able to follow everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, once I saw Uniswap, I was just, it was something amazing. I said, how come this is decentralized? How come there is no control over that one? So once I understand the context behind that one, that made my day, I tell you.
Yeah, I see. Like when you don't need a registration. Yeah, I remember that Defi summer where when everyone was mind blowing. Like, whoa, what's going on? Like so many DFs, and we don't need to use registration to pass the QIC. Just do fun and have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Have fun being
So
rocked.
you started learning Uniswap v2, I guess,
Yeah.
and what next?
After Uniswap, yeah, we had some kind of uh, side project with Vishnu, which we tried to leverage on top of Uniswap. We tried to fundraise,
Hmm.
and we couldn't. And we couldn't. Later on, I went on board again because that time I was locked home like 10 months, and I went on board. And this time I was locked on board another 10 months because nobody wanted to sign us off, to
Hmm.
repatriate us off due to COVID.
Oh.
And for this 10 months on board, I can tell you I did nothing. But I was trying to learn Solidity that time. We were at the dry dock in Oman. And after the work, like 8 to 10 hours, I was trying to learn again Solidity. And finally, once I come back, I learned it. I learned it. Meanwhile, I found a job to continue my life. I said I will never go back.
Ah.
So yeah, since after that day, it's already 3 years. I never go back. Never went back.
I believe that you enjoy your decisions for now. I hope for that.
I regret not doing this one before.
uh, yeah, but you started your journey as a Solidity developer, or what did you done when you find your job?
Ah, my first job was, my first job at Land, I can say, is a customer support agent.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So,
On which sex?
CoinList, I was working for CoinList.
Oh, CoinList. Do they still differentiate themselves as a sex? I believe that it's not like a sex anymore, but it's pretty famous platform even now. Like so many people got rich due to their airdrops. To be
Yeah,
honest.
I can say they're very legal and they're not DEX actually. They're centralized
Yeah, yeah,
exchange,
yeah.
but they have many legal entities. I was surprised to see, like, really, I mean, there's lots of things going on the legal basis. And they were doing everything, they are doing everything very smoothly. I was so excited to join them. And I stayed like 1.5 year with them, which I don't regret at all because I met the greatest minds, ex Google, ex Apple, all
Yeah.
XX. Yeah. So during that time, I continued to learn Solidity, and that time I met Code Arena, and I just met the Web3 security
Okay. Uh, in which year it was? Like
to 2022.
22. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What you can share about early times of crowdsource security area? Do you
I
remember your first submission?
no,
Like,
of course.
yeah,
I just signed one gas optimization to Elastic which gave me $3.36. And
$3.
yeah, and Alex, Alex the entrepreneur, he's a great guy. He commented on my submission like, okay, this is a correct optimization, which made me, which gave me the worlds because imagine he did not do that one and I end up with nothing. I will just continue my way. I don't think that I will go in this sector anymore because from the first point you just being discouraged, like you're not welcome. So I mean, having a like this judge is a big plus. So I mean, I still owe Alex some drinks. When I see him in DS, I will do.
yeah, definitely a good professional. Uh, so you started your security journey from Code Arena, yeah? How
Yeah,
did you found them? Like they were not so popular at that period of time, and like I don't know, maybe when maybe 100 users were registered there who were
yeah, correct,
participating in most
correct.
of yeah
Look,
contests.
I found them via Sherlock. That's
No.
more funny because because that time I was considering myself, okay, now I'm learning Solidity. I learned Solidity. I have to find a job as an intern or just a junior dev
Hmm.
or whatever. So I just encountered Sherlock's job advertisement, job listing, and they were specifically asking for the applicant to be a rock star at Code Arena.
Hmm.
I said, what is Code Arena, man?
What is that?
Yeah, that time changed my life. So I just clicked Code Arena. Okay, let's see. I just sent, okay, let's see if the submission works, if they're, trying to, fool us or not. It became all valid.
Yeah, for those who don't know, the Sherlock was on their very beginning was one of the first clients of Codarina actually.
Yeah, yeah,
Like yeah, they also organized one crowdsourced security contest on Codarina as well. Uh, I believe that the report still can be found on Codarina.
yeah, I think in 2021. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn, it was so long time ago. I feel sold yet, to be honest. Okay, so first valid submission, gas optimization submission. How did you learn from that audits? Like many people mentioning that the pretty good starting point is to read the final report after you participated in contests. Like learn from issues which you missed, read them, and try to improve yourself. What was your I don't know tips to become better in auditing?
yeah, yeah. That's a good question actually because imagine I knew nothing regarding protocols and contracts, how they work, and I started with the guys optimization, and it took me really some time to bring my level to an acceptable level because I was having lots of things to learn. So the best thing was for me to click everything, which I don't know. Okay, what is that context? What is that concept? And try to participate to the contest as much as possible. And of course, waiting for the results. I mean, one should have the slap of a judge so that they can understand why
Yeah.
their issue is invalid. So I had this lots of times, but I never, but I never discouraged myself. I needed to get up and continue. So my learning path mostly evolved once I got to backstage. So that once everybody submits, once the contest is closed out, I can see who submitted what. And that time, I mean, there were great players. Even C. Michel was there, Watch Park, everyone, Xiaomi 90.
Do
So I
you
was just
mean do you
checking
mean
theirs.
backstage like being on the side of the judge of the contest or?
Even now, today, if you're a new warden at Code Arena, you cannot see the submissions once the contest is over.
Hmm.
So you should have like one high or three mediums, and you should apply for a backstage. So once the contest is over,
Ah, yeah.
you can see all the things in GitHub. So once I was granted that access, it changed my life again because I understand what I'm not doing, and I started to understand people's minds. Not copying somebody's core thinking concept is really really adding you amazing things because it changes the way of thinking. I was focusing on gas optimizations and QAs. Later on, I realized that these contracts have mediums and highs. So I tried to spot on them. Many of them I failed, many of them I succeeded even with solos. And it shaped me a lot, I can say.
Hmm. Yeah, of course, especially if you can find a unique issue, yeah, you can take the huge piece of cake from the reward pot. And yeah, learning from submissions of other people, you can see how the good and bad reports looks like, you
Yeah,
know.
definitely.
uh Even now, especially now with that amount of GPT generated submissions, it's becoming pretty annoying to be a judge or a triage team or something, because you are dealing with like hundreds of useless reports, and you still need to be focused on to not miss the real valuable submission. uh,
Correct.
so are you still participating as a judge on Codarina contests or no?
I'm not a judge, by the way. I am a validator.
Okay.
So when the contest is over, uh, they send me the repo. Okay, this is your job now. Try to evaluate, duplicate, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if passes the bar of being a submission, okay, on the right side. If it's not left side,
Uh-huh.
invalidate it. I prepare everything. Out of 1,000 issues, maybe 100 issues becomes the main issues. We send it to the sponsors, and they do whatsoever. And I'm still doing that one actually. It's
So what do you think, what is the percentage of noise radio? I mean, like, one of the tens reports is valuable, or how many reports are generated by bots?
I tell you, 30%.
Yeah, 30.
Meaning, yes, one third of the contest is by the GPT.
uh, Hope that that area will improve as well. Like, maybe, but from my experience, we have the pretty same problem actually, and now we are researching and looking for tools which can identify that the report was generated by any kind of GPT tools, because they doing a pretty good job by preparing a description, highlighting non-existent issue, and you can spend so much time just for validate it and understand that it was a
They are even
it,
forging the POCs, coded forging. I mean, they just made up the box and it's running, but it's
yeah.
made up, of course. But that costs you your time, to validate that one.
Yeah, definitely. But I see that many actually auditing companies are looking for some ways how to automate auditing process, and maybe we will see uh, good scanners pretty soon. Who knows? Who knows? Like 2 years ago, we couldn't imagine that our Chat GPT will have such a big part of our life. Yeah, like
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
using it right now. So
Exactly.
maybe soon we will have something similar with auditing tools or something. Do you use any uh, tools during audits?
I use only GPT. Fair
And
enough.
Visual Studio.
Yeah, because I'm not a native speaker, so just to correct my grammar or just to reference something, just to
Yeah, it's
increase, yeah, just to reference what I'm aiming for actually. So it's sometimes good, sometimes I don't like, sometimes I use my own words because, yeah, it's a necessity at one point. And Delirious made one tool. I am using that one for bug bounties, Turbo Poke, so that it's just instantly, copies the, forks to mainnet and just gives you a test boilerplate in the Foundry. So it's good to
oh,
develop on that. Yeah,
interesting. Never heard about them. We'll check it out.
it's nice.
Uh, Actually, have you heard about Cursor app?
Yeah, I tried it.
I discovered it recently, and I really enjoy it. Like, if you boring of writing unit tests for your smart contracts, it actually it already can automate it, like, and doing it pretty well. I figured out that writing epochs usually helps you a lot with finding as low handling fruits, like because some of parts of the code not covered, yeah, but by tests, and just by writing a test you can really find some issues. And Cursor app is pretty useful in that area. Actually, who don't know what is that, it's like a clone of Visual Studio, but with some AI tools. You can connect ChatGPT, you can connect Claude, and maybe some other custom LLM uh, models. So yeah, but and what do you think about it? You tried, and do you like it?
Uh, Actually, I'm against this AI thing because I don't really want to be in the hands of AI. There's no guarantee that it will complete the job completely.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, and it provides, just fake data also, they just make up data. They just make up a variable which doesn't exist in the code base. At that time, you just cut off. What is this for? I mean, I'm there for a report, boosting up, and it just gives me something fake. Uh, that is how you get to $20 a month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like we still need to understand that this is not a replacement of your main occupation. Like, if you are looking for an issue, you can be you still need to verify anything what was discovered by AI tools or something, because they are just the companions. They are not solving your problem. If they could find all security holes, you will not have a job right now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And especially I like devs who at that moment, like, many developers started using ChatGPT or something to write smart contracts. And it's pretty funny when you see the same patterns in the code, like because it just writing a smart contract for you and missing a pretty stupid, sometimes pretty stupid issues.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
um Okay. What do you think is the biggest challenge which Web3 security area facing right now, uh, and how we can evolve in next 2 years? Yeah, like 2 years ago we didn't have uh, crowdsource security contests. We had much less amount and number of auditors and security engineers, and now we are evolving, and uh, Yeah, what do you think? What is the main problem on the market with security right now?
Yeah, I think the main problem for the security did not change since last year. I told this all even the last year. I mean, we have everything. You can see we have the technology, we have the developers, we have the money. We can do everything to improve. I mean, there are L2s inside L2s. There is another L2, L2. I mean, every tech is there, like the tokens.
Yeah.
But somehow the security is not improving. That is because the money is in the evil hands. I mean, we as security researchers trying to save the users, not the protocols actually. And these users, unknowingly, they are aping for the juicy treat, I can say. So we are just telling them to eat broccoli, but they go to burgers. And once we tell the sponsors, the projects that they have this issue, we are getting robbed. So they just ignore us. I don't know why. I heard not only from myself or from my team, but I know many people they are complaining about this one. They ignore the vulnerability and suddenly it is vanished or it is patched or it is nothing done against it. The funds are lost. And imagine there is a great team called SEAL, and
Yeah.
they are just dealing with everything. But I assume they are dealing mostly only you know uh, private keys leaks.
Yeah.
It's like a lost and found office, man. They lost the private keys and they are dealing with the private keys. And I mean, this is private keys. It's not a vulnerability anymore. You just lose it, something like that. So to cover up, the biggest problem actually is the projects ignoring white hats um, from the beginning, and they just don't do the correct patches accordingly. I mean, there is of course an ego scenario inside because if they accept something, like if they accept a vulnerability, it will be like they are seen or something. I don't know how they see this, but I mean they want to call like themselves like they are flawless or something, like they are gods. But I mean, once you don't see vulnerability, it is also a question mark. There are maybe 10 projects at the wild, they don't have a vulnerability. Uh, After that fun, that should be something. And we are chasing those. And we are being ignored by those. That is the problem.
Yeah, you definitely right. Like about especially centralization risks. Yeah, in
Yeah.
most cases they will never be accepted as valid issues. Like nobody claiming that they are fully decentralized anymore. Nobody trying to ensure that uh, the contract will not be changed at any time. Yeah,
Yeah.
and after that we see in the end of the day we see more and more cases with private keys leakage with phishing attacks, and where the contract itself may have a pretty good security, pretty good audits, a bunch of audits, bug bounties, everything. But somewhere in the end of that pyramid, we have a account team who pressed a phishing link, and money is gone, and that's it. I don't know how actually. I even don't see the how it can be solved. Like this is the same problem in Web 2 as well, and the only answer which you can receive will be like educate your teammates. Yeah,
No, no way.
but but it never work like that.
No way.
Like people can be tired of something in the end of the day. Like you can't be 100% ready to anything, like, and it never works like that.
Yeah, correct. And one more thing actually on this one. I mean, the more, exploits are happening, so the adaptation to the crypto is just failing, man. I mean, imagine a guy seeing that $600 million is lost, and Next day he will say, okay, thank God I did not have money on those because I know these tokens are, pyramid schemes or
Yeah.
Ponzi, whatever. And it happened to me like back in 2014 or 15 when this Bitfinex hacks.
Hmm.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I said, I thank God I didn't go into it. You see, they stole, they stole it.
Yeah.
Exactly
And
the same thing is happening.
but I mean, like even pretty big and cool projects, which are not a pyramids at all, can be hacked as well, or or uh, steal your assets as well. Like, uh, who could imagine that FTX will go out of money? Yeah, the biggest funds invested in that crypto exchange, and you can sit like, okay, I'm a smartest guy in that room, I'm smarter than paradigm guys, I'm smarter than Sequoia guys who invested millions into that. And so it's a mature project, I can invest in it as well. And how it finished, like user lost their money, but seems like we will have a happy end in that story, because I read uh, I read in the news that they started a repayment process for all
Really.
people, yeah, which were under impact of that losses. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was. Still it is, so for many.
Uh, okay. How is your usual day looks like right now? Are you doing private audits? Do you do? Are you participating in crowdsource contests still? How it looks like?
Yeah, how it looks like. My days nowadays actually very silent because I decided to give a break to the load I took for the last 6 7 months. But for the
Mm-hmm.
last 6 7 months, I had a team with Delirious, with this which you announced at the beginning, top lead.
Mm-hmm.
So we were doing public contests, private, sometimes contributing to side companies, which no, a couple of uh, guys were inviting us to their private contests, and we were doing together.
Mm-hmm.
And we recently started some bug bounties on Immunify. I mean, it is very difficult to choose the correct sponsors rather than the bug. Finding bug is much more easier in Immunify, I can tell you. So
Uh, what
so
what? Yeah.
yeah, they
Finish
just
your
they,
thought.
they just ignore, they just ignore you again. And yeah, that's it actually. And I'm trying to learn a couple of languages. Like nowadays, I'm into Move. Before that, when I learned Cairo, much more before. And the regular day is now I wake up, have breakfast, wife and 3 cats, and just have gym, some cooking. That's it.
Mm, so how to not burn out? Like you trying to take a rest after the 6 7 months of hard work, and uh, yeah. So the reason is that you tired of security, or you burn it out, or what happened?
There is one point for me. After that point, you show me the bug, and all I can say that's a decent code base. So it happened to me, and I did not like it because once you contribute very large code bases with a very large award, with the award pools, there is only one or two, solo highs or solo mediums whatsoever. And once you have the once you see it, you don't realize it's heartaching. So I was at that point, and I just say, okay, let me have some rest. I went to vacation. Nowadays, doing nothing, enjoying coffee. So just trying to see the fun side of the crypto again, fun side of the Web3 security. And actually, it is beneficial now because I can understand more deeply rather than uh, more than I could understand 2 months before, I can say.
Yeah, sometimes it's really needed to take a pause or change your direction, yeah, or growth, because yeah, some sometimes it's really needed. You mentioned bug bounty. What do you think about bug bounty arena at all? Like
It's good.
many, huh?
It's good, really good. But once the sponsors are really good, then it is good. Else it's a waste of time. I mean, Hack and Proof has many insights, right? And once you see inside, I mean, this is nice, Optus, everything. So once you see there are big names, you can understand it's if you find something big, the income should be big. But of course, you should come to that point first of all.
Yeah, but from from our side of view, not our, I mean like from market side, it seems like bug bounty business is a bit of, I don't know, on the bottom, just because of so many crowdsourced contests going on, like that a lot of security engineers just changed their focus from the bug bounty to crowdsourced contests, because yeah, the first issue is like you working with fresh code base in most of cases, and you can really
Yeah.
deep dive into it, yeah. And razors, and when you're dealing with a bug bounty, you are looking into code base which were audited 100 times before, with a lot of other teams and internal teams and engineers. So yeah, and of course you never know what can happen with your sponsor of that bug bounty. We had a cases where when the researcher found the critical issue, and next day the company was hacked because of another issue, not the same,
What a
I mean,
shot.
what did you, and like you sitting with a poker face and thinking, okay, will I get paid for that, or they finish it their business? You never know. uh, yeah, so
Poor guy.
crypto is still, yeah, the crypto is still Wild West. What I can say here.
It is. It is.
So you mentioned that you started learning Cairo Move. What do you think about non-EVM chains? Do you believe that there is more opportunities for beginners, or it just to grow diagonally for?
Actually, for me, EVM is much more easier. So,
Hmm.
I mean, if you come from the CS background, if you know coding with the Rust and Rust-like languages, that side should be more beneficial for them because, like, it's like Cosmos is a modeler, so
Yeah,
you have to ensure this modularity to initiate all, and not like the EVM. So once I see Cosmos, I said this is doable, but this is a bit, there are many things on the plate now, not like
yeah.
going to the happy path like we do in the Solidity and EVM.
It's not that readable, I mean, like a Solidity, like Solidity is easier to read when you don't have experience at all. Like many people mention it, like a Python. Why people like to start learning programming from the Python? Because like syntax is pretty similar to English.
Human
That's
language.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
to
correct.
human language. uh and what do you think about Move? I'm A lot of people really enjoy it, but it's not that much readable as Solidity. I would like to mention, but you started. So what is your first opinion from that
Yeah,
about that?
I am really at the beginning for Mu, and I like it. I can read it. It's nice, but it at some point it makes me feel like the contracts are based on Move, so too much depending on Move's security safety. So if something happens in the Move compiler, what who knows what will happen? I don't think that will happen because these are formal verified things. So far, it's going good. So. if you want to see something in the move contracts as a vulnerability, I think it will come from the business logic, not because of the coding logic, because it will not compile at all. It's very
Yeah,
strict. Yeah, but
yeah,
I liked it.
actually.
But I liked it.
Uh, so maybe you can recommend any resources where you learning right now, or where do you reading most of
Directly
it?
move docs.
Of course. The first point of learning any language, actually, like if you're going to start with solidity, just open last documentation page and read it from the beginning till the end. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. I agree.
Do you like the Mulang documentation? Like I
It,
mean, uh sorry,
no problem.
it's not a joke. Like why I'm highlighting it is because uh for new languages the main issue is like complexity of reading the documentation. And if the programming language is old become older and older, get more and more clear documentation, and
Yeah.
it's become easier to read it, to start learning something, and so on, so on. So and Mulang is not that old, to be honest, like just 2 years, maybe a bit more.
I think a bit more. And what I see at MoveLang documentation, it is written like the reader knows the move, but we are trying to learn move. Yeah, so it's like it's assuming you know it. And I didn't like the linting. There is no linting. I cannot differentiate. I'm colorblind a little bit. So,
Hmm.
but I'm trying to extract much of it. There's not only one resource, of course. So this is my main resource. And after that, I can go Google something and find the correct answer.
Yeah, of course. Or ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, ask GPT. Yeah,
It's
unless he
helping
makes
as
up
well.
something
Yeah.
else.
Uh, so let's move on. What trends or innovation do you think will shape in the future of Web3 security?
What
Like,
trends and innovation?
huh?
You ask what trends and innovation in Web3 security, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
future.
Trends and innovations.
I really don't have any idea because it's shaping a lot. I mean, there are maybe 10 contest platforms, right?
Yeah, it's too much.
Maybe seven, eight bug bounty platforms. There are some private groups gathering with private batches. There is Pacho there, big player. There is Coderina, Cantina. I mean, they are continuously uh, competing each other. So
Yeah,
they have to come up with some great ideas. I saw Coderina does it well to bring some good innovations to the ecosystem, and then later the others follow. Continue now does it the same, does
yeah,
the same, and Sherlock already changed judging system. I mean,
yeah,
I mean, these are for only for the contest based platforms, but for the Web3 security, I don't know if we are not uh, succeeding to resolve the issues right now with this existing condition. I don't think that a new innovation can do it right now because it's getting larger and larger, and
yeah.
everybody starts their own chain. So I don't have any answer to this one actually.
Yeah, I know. Like we can say that the cybersecurity Web3 cybersecurity area is mature enough yet to protect the projects, but as you mentioned before, s- projects doing uh, mistakes on their own, like by opening links, and that's it. So uh, yeah, we have a innovations, we have a technology, we have everything, uh just retail left. Like we still need more users here, and where will we get them? Nobody knows. But we'll see. What do you think? You mentioned that you traded a lot, so you seen already at least two bull runs and crypto winters.
Yeah,
What do you think? Are we back? A lot of people mentioned like we are so back. Bull run
yeah,
is here.
we were back. I can
Yeah,
say.
it was a fake bull
Yeah,
run, don't you think so?
yeah, it was not as glamorous like before, but yeah, I think it was all it was. Maybe they want us to think in this way. I don't know.
Maybe the cycle become shorter, like we had a bull run and now we have again for 4 years of crypto winter. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
close it up.
possible, possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, but we'll see. Seems like everybody do bets on the US president election, and after that bull run will go. That's it. Okay, it seems like we are out of questions already. So, do you have any final thoughts which you would like to share with our community and our listeners?
I don't think so.
It's
I
fair
mean,
enough.
it's fair enough. I just enjoyed a lot, Alex. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Thanks so much for being with us today. Thanks for accepting the invitation and sharing your story with our community. So thanks everyone who was listening us today. It was a Web3 security podcast with Hack and Proof, and sorry, not sorry. See you in next episodes. Bye.
Bye bye.